Welcome back to the Dr. Beasley's Clean Room, everybody. I am Director of Success, Chris Rakana, and today we are here to talk about thickness and why thicker is better. And no, I'm not saying this just because I am a larger mammal, but I'm saying this because this is what makes many of our detail products better and how you're able to deliver a more efficient service and a better end product to your customer. Or if you're at home doing this DIY, you're able to do this better at home in your garage. So first of all, let's talk just generally why thicker is better, especially when we're talking about detailing products. First of all, you're going to have much greater control of the product and where you're going with it. So obviously something that is of a thinner viscosity, you're going to spray it onto a surface and it's just going to run down. Something with a thicker viscosity, you can spray it on the surface and boom, it stays right there. So again, you're gonna have much greater control of where you're putting it, but you're also gonna have greater control of how much of that product is going on the surface. So obviously a thinner product, you're gonna be able to spray onto that surface with much greater volume. With a thicker product, you're going to have a greater degree of control of how much of that product you want on that surface. And this is really great when it comes, especially when you're focusing on a specific area, when you're doing spot cleaning or something like that, where it's not a general clean, but you are focused on this one area and all you want to deal with is this one area. Again, that thicker product is going to allow you to focus that more aggressive product right in the area you want it. Number two, why thicker is better? There's going to be less waste. So when it comes to this, thicker products are going to stay on your pads or your applicators better than thinner products, because after all, thinner products are going to absorb into the applicator, are going to absorb into the pad. If it's inside your applicator or inside your pad, you are wasting product. It's not doing any good for you or your customer or the car. Thicker products stay on top of the pad. That means you are applying them to the leather, you're applying them to the microfiber, you are between the paint and the buffing pad then, and you are, again, being much more efficient with your consumption of your chemicals. Number three, more environmentally friendly, especially when we talk about cleaning wheels or anything on the outside of the car. If we're using chemicals, especially on wheels where you're having to put a great deal of that product and it's just running down the wheels and into the drain, obviously that is less than environmentally friendly than if we can have a product that has the ability to grab onto that wheel face, hold tight there, and break down that contaminant. That's going to obviously be more efficient as far as your consumption, but it's also going to be more environmentally friendly when it comes to saving Mother Earth. Number four, we are going to be more stable and more even distribution of ingredients. So obviously, this is not just made up of one thing. Obviously, it's kind of like, the chemistry here is like a chef in the kitchen, where a little sprinkle of this and a little handful of that and a pinch of this. You need all those ingredients evenly distributed for the product to work to its full potential. Obviously, if the product has a thinner viscosity, it's going to have a greater likelihood to separate. So you're going to end up with this element on top and this element on bottom. And if you're not super diligent about shaking up that bottle every single time you use it, you're going to get a little bit of more element A and a little bit less of B, and you're not going to get the performance you need. So this way, if we are able to offer you a thicker product, those ingredients are going to stay suspended and be able to better perform because, again, you're not worried about that degree of separation. Moving on, higher performance. Now, the reason that you have a higher performance out of this is because, again, you are going to be able to move more quickly through the process. Especially, this is a concern for you professional detailers out there. More time messing around, shaking up bottles, doing this, doing that is wasted time. So this way, I'm going to start out with my Opti-Leather Cleanser. I know through this whole process of this interior, that's it. I'm going to give it one shake, and that's going to be enough for me for this use. So let's look at some specific examples here, starting off with NSP 150. For those of you that are unfamiliar, I'm going to tell you to go see our primer on NSP video. We can drop in a link right here. But this is going to be akin to your compound if you're unfamiliar with our Nano surface primers. But when you have a polish or a compound, generally you want it to sit on the pad. But the fact is, most polishes and compounds soak into the pad. And if it's inside your pad, it's wasted product. It's money down the tube. So what you're gonna see here is with this NSP 150, I'm gonna get it sit on top of the pad. And you're gonna see it has a consistency of, probably something closer to cottage cheese than your usual compounder polish. But again, look how it sits on top of the pad. This makes it a more efficient product because it's gonna stay between the paint and the pad. If it's inside the pad, we're wasting it. And just to demonstrate how thick it is, look at that, falls right off. So again, telling me that there is nothing that absorbed into the pad, it was all sitting on top of the pad. Now let's go to our metal coat product. This is a ceramic coating for uncoated metal surfaces. So if it does not have clear coat, but it's polished stainless steel, polished aluminum, chrome, whatever the case might be, this is what's going to protect that surface for up to 3 years. Now again, it's got an old school kind of paste wax experience as far as the install is concerned. So you put some on your applicator, you do your Mr. Miyagi style, circles on, and then buff it off with a microfiber. But again, if we look here, it's sitting on top of the applicator. If my metal coat was soaking into the applicator, I am wasting money. So this way, again, it's sitting on top of the applicator, not inside the applicator. Now, something like our plastic conditioner or our leather cream for the interior. These, again, are products that you're going to see are very thick, and they're going to sit on top of the applicators. So again, no waste here. But also when I'm dealing with the interiors, especially with leathers and plastics, I want to be able to have a higher level of control over the product. I want to be able to control where this stuff goes. I don't want something that's so thin that I'm going to be chasing it, and if I'm applying it to the back, that I'm going to chase these streaks running down and stuff like that. This product is so thick that, again, if I just want to work in this area, I'm going to work in this area. I don't have to worry about it running elsewhere. So more efficient and higher degree of control. Now let's also talk about what we're looking at over here. You have some wheel cleansers. We also have our Opti-Leather Cleanser and our Opti-Surface Cleanser. We're going to go ahead and change this up here a little bit, and we're going to demonstrate some of these products for you here in a moment. Okay, now let's talk about some interior products. We have our Opti-Surface Cleanser. Now this is a spot cleaner. This is a more aggressive cleanser than our interior cleanser. Our interior cleanser is more of a general cleanser. You would come back with this if there was a particularly stubborn contaminant that we wanted to work at. So in this spot cleaning scenario, obviously this is where thicker is going to be better. So let's compare it to one of our competitors here. So again, it's a spot cleaner. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a good shake always before use, and then give it a spray here on our little test hood versus a spray here. And look at that. Our competition was down on the towel before this even had a chance. So again, Dr. Beasley's competitor. So you can see how much more control we have with a thicker product. We're able to control it more, use less product, be more efficient with it. So we're back with our Opti-Leather Cleanser and our Opti-Leather Cleanser. So like our Opti-Surface Cleanser we have here is our spot cleanser. This is our spot cleanser for leather. You have Dr. Beasley's Fine Leather Cleanser as your general leather cleanser. This is the next step on the ladder of aggression. So this is our basically spot cleaner. So again, this is something we'd want to focus on smaller areas with, have a greater degree of control with the distribution of this product. So again, let's look at our competitor here and Dr. Beasley's. You can see there, all the way down fast, and this one taking its time. So again, demonstrating exactly what we're trying to get across to you guys, which is what we want here is thicker product that's going to be more focused, going to be more efficient, and it's going to give you a better experience when you're dealing with these specific scenario. The last thing to check on are the wheel cleansers. Now the wheel cleansers are obviously something that's of great interest just because we all want to keep our wheels nice and clean. but we can go through tons of wheel cleaner. And I want to show you exactly why these are so fantastic. All right, so now that we're back here dealing with some wheels, I wanted to get an actual wheel out here to show you guys what I'm talking about. So again, what we have here is Dr. Beasley's Intensive Brake Dust Remover, and then also our premium wheel cleanser. And I'm gonna just do our wheel cleanser. These are actually fully prepped, obviously, and already done and cleaning and everything like that. But again, I wanted to give you an idea here of what we're trying to demonstrate as far as, you know, its ability to hang on. So again, the whole part is when you're cleaning your wheels, you know, if you have a thinner viscosity, it's just gonna run off and run down onto your tires, which you don't necessarily want, and then run off into your water supply, which is even worse. Then you're gonna go through more products. You're being wasteful, you're not being environmentally friendly, and you're just not being as efficient. So if I sit here and go with our wheel cleanser, so again, anytime you're doing chemicals, it's all about bottom up. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give this a gentle spray. And if you can see here that that's hanging on there. Then I'm gonna go grab some competition here, and you're gonna see it's just running. You can see it's coming down to the rim, pooling on the bottom of the rim and everything here. So this is already starting to run off, whereas my wheel cleanser is completely holding tight. This gives me a couple advantages. Number one, if this was a filthy wheel and I needed to do multiple applications or long dwell time, like obviously, you know, when it comes to chemicals, dwell time matters. You can't necessarily just throw a chemical on there, expect it to break down the contaminant in 3 seconds and wipe it off. You need to give it dwell time. You need that chemical time to do its job. But you also don't want chemicals drying on the surface. So if this started drying up, I mean, now I got to come back with more to keep it active, but I'm wasting more product. And see, it's still, again, I can see it running down the lip of the rim down here. Versus my premium wheel cleanser, I have not needed to reapply because it's still just hanging on there, sticking on there, breaking down that contaminant. So this is why it is so important, the viscosity of these products. A perfect demonstration here of why our premium wheel cleanser and intensive brake dust remover have thicker viscosity, because they are going to allow you to do more with less, which is obviously, you know, a good thing. So I wanted to thank you very much again for tuning in down to the Dr. Beasley's Clean Room. And do remember, like and subscribe to the videos. We work real hard on these to get these over to you guys. So please reward our hard work by going ahead and hitting that like button, and give a tickle to that notification button too, so you know, you get notified on our next video. Thanks again, everybody. And do remember out there, help me educate America. For those of you that are unaware, hey, guess what? The left lane is for passing. So if you're in the left lane and you're not passing anyone, it's time to move over to the right. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great day.